He got me fired to cover his theft, so I ruined his career. Let me tell you about the time I got revenge so satisfying. Even my old boss called to thank me. A few years ago, I was working as a front desk manager at a boutique hotel. I was good at my job, organized, polite, and always covering when people needed time off. My coworker Dan, not so much. Dan was lazy but charming. He'd charm the guests and spend the rest of his shifts scrolling on his phone or sneaking off for smoke breaks. I picked up his slack more times than I can count. One day, we had a string of complaints about overcharges. I didn't think much of it at first. Tech glitches happen. But then, a regular guest confronted me in person with screenshots of his receipt. Someone had added fake minibar charges and signed it under my name. I immediately went to the GM. She looked into it, and days later, I was fired for theft. I was stunned, heartbroken. My whole reputation, gone in one meeting. I spiraled for about a week. Then I got curious. Dan had mentioned once that he used the same password for everything. Stupid, I know, but I still had access to the staff app on my phone, and I decided to try logging in using his credentials. It worked. And what I found? A goldmine. Dozens of falsified charges. Dan had been running a scam, overcharging guests, deleting the transactions from the system, and pocketing the difference, all while pinning it on others. I screenshot everything. Then I contacted 3 guests I knew had been affected and encouraged them to file complaints. Finally, I sent a full report to the hotel's regional director and the franchise's corporate office, anonymously, of course. Within 2 weeks, Dan was fired. But it didn't stop there. The hotel pressed charges. I later heard from an old coworker that Dan was convicted of fraud and banned from working in hospitality across multiple hotel chains. Oh, and remember the GM who fired me? She was demoted. Turns out she had ignored earlier red flags about Dan. And corporate wasn't happy. A few months later, I got hired by a better hotel in a higher paying position. I never told them what happened. But I carry that story with me like a battle scar. Was I petty? Maybe. But was I wrong to fight fire with fire?